describe Azure Virtual Private Networks, also known as VPN. So, basically, a VPN uses an encrypted tunnel within another network. VPNs are encrypted is a key word here. So, uh, uh, VPNs are typically deployed to connect two or more trusted private networks to one another over an untrusted network, typically the public internet. So, traffic is encrypted while traveling over the untrusted network to prevent eavesdropping on or other attacks. And VPN can enable networks to safely secure or share sensitive information. So now we have VPN gateways. It's a type of a virtual network gateway, and it deployed in a dedicated subnet of virtual network and enable the following connectivity. So we've seen this site-to-site connection, point-to-site, and network-to-network connection. All right, so and here we're talking about high availability scenarios. So if you're configuring a VPN to keep information safe, you also want to be sure that it's highly available and fault-tolerant VPN connection. And there are a few ways to maximize the resiliency of the VPN gateway. So you have active standby, active, express route failover, right, zone redundant gateways. So anything to make it resilient. So what is active or standby? So by default, VPN gateways are deployed as two instances in an active standby configuration. Even if you only see one VPN gateway resource in Azure, and planned maintenance or unplanned disruption affects the active instance, the standby instance automatically assumes responsibility for connections without any user intervention. And connections are interrupted during this failover, but they are typically restored in a few seconds for planned maintenance and within 90 seconds for unplanned disruptions. Right, so it's basically you're normally using the active part of it, and if there's any service disruption, the standby takes over. And now you have active. And with the introduction of support for the BGP routing protocol, you can also deploy VPN gateways in an active configuration. And in this configuration, you assign a unique public IP address to each instance, and you can then create separate tunnels from the on-premises device to each IP address, and you can extend the high availability by deploying an additional VPN device on premises. Right, next one is express route failover. So express route circuits have resiliency built in, and however they aren't immune to physical problems that affect cables delivering connectivity or outages, right? So in high availability scenarios where there is a risk associated with an outage of an express route circuit, you can also provision a VPN gateway that uses the internet as an alternative method of connectivity. And then you have zone redundant gateways. Alright, so in regions that support availability zones, VPN gateways and express route gateways can be deployed in a zone redundant configuration. And basically this brings resiliency, scalability, and high availability to virtual network gateway.